I really don't know what USFA was thinking, that group, when they not only stuck a sticker on this on the tail fin of my LSF-A ship, nor do I know what they were thinking when they ripped out a grinder and started grinding one of them apart. Five or couple billion-year-old spacecraft that came here on the legendary LSF colony ship, and then a bunch of kids are grinding on it to make body armor plates for themselves. And it's not even completely, totally depleted uranium. It was just mostly depleted uranium. It was still fairly radioactive. And it would cause sickness and even sterility. At least, I don't know. It had been a while, so it might have been mostly depleted. But still, giving off quite a signature at that point in time. But they were grinding on it with a grinder. One of them. Anyway, there were 4 or 8 of them, so I think originally there were 16 or 32 of them actually originally, or something like that. I forget the exact number of the amount of those, of how many ships there were, but there were quite a few. Some went to Earth, some went to this other place, some were still on the ship. Yeah, of course. I believe. And anyway, so basically some USAF people got out a grinder and started grinding on one of these ancient and old and very much legendary LSF-A ships, and even tried to grind in the U, or try to grind out the LSF signature that was stamped into the depleted uranium long, long ago. And basically, I don't really know what they were thinking grinding on that, considering that so many races and so many life forms actually knew of it. And what they were thinking, it's not exactly like a gun that you can just grind the serial number off and then go use it for something or whatever. And I don't know what they were thinking, saying that I was crazy or whatever else like that, considering that they were my ships, along with the LSF colony ship itself. So, and my name's not really Brian, it's Lucifer Star. So, it always was. Anyway, so when people would say, Brian this, Brian that, it's like, my name is Lucifer Star. Anyway, that was my name, that is my name. So, and that's why the ship was called the LSF, for Lucifer Star Flyer. Anyway, didn't really fly, more like just cruise through space. So anyway, and like I say, Richard Nixon, John McCain, and quite a few other people would take part in grinding pieces of one of my LSF-A ships into basically what is body armor. 500 billion year old or 100 trillion year old basically artifact relic of the colony that actually started Earth and many other planets, and they were grinding it apart for body armor. And they wondered why the people were freaking when they tried to do that. One of a kind and irreplaceable. And epically old. So, anyway, yeah. And then later on, the USAF would be trying to find me to kill me, I guess. Not exactly sure, but I assume because they would want to know whose property they had been grinding on, I suppose, and what they had actually been grinding. And Richard Nixon, John McCain, Jimmy Carter, and a bunch of others. And they wondered why people were going to come after them. Like I said, they didn't come here on the colony ship. They were born here. And they just happened to find the ships in Germany and France. Somehow. I don't know how they found the ships. But basically, JFK, Nixon pretty much. And they figured they should make body armor out of it. Anyway, a lot of people were freaking when they started grinding on it with those grinders. And they shot those people that were freaking and then continued grinding and then forged some armor plate for themselves. And then ran around and then were wondering why their hair was falling out when they wore the armor. Like I say, I think the armor, they actually found the armor somewhere around 1890 or something like that. Or found the ships actually in 1890 or something like that. And that's when they actually found the LSF-A flyer. Because it was still very much radioactive, or at least fairly radioactive enough to affect them. Although I don't know about how much hair they lost or whatever. But, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going around, and who knows. I mean, they were trying to get plutonium samples, which they did. Like I said, there was the Maltese Falcon, which was very much made of uranium, and still highly radioactive, and very dangerous to be around, like I say. And other things, so. Anyway, Richard Nixon, John McCain, class act. Probably Rodney and Rick Bush also probably took part in all of this. I don't really know exactly how many people took part in pretty much what was the most stupid thing ever in the whole universe to do. That also led to them trying to get time travel to kill me or something. Anyway, I don't really know exactly. And people can deal with that whole fact themselves. And then later on, people would be saying that I was crazy, or that it wasn't real, or that I made up the whole thing, or that because of course, according to them, the LSF had crashed with all crew died, but it hadn't. It had just simply gained an A, and then after later on, it had simply gained another A. And anyway, so anyway, yeah. And there should be lots of video and lots of films and lots of other stuff about the old colony ship with the wings. Like I said, I was the only one with wings, I think. So, anyway. It's good old days, basically. And not the Saturn V, by the way. Nowhere near. The Saturn V was like a little dinky little thing compared to like the LSF, which was huge, 1,200 feet across or something like that. It was a colony ship, and basically the Saturn V was this little bitty dinky thing compared, like not much bigger than the space shuttle. If I remember right, I think the Saturn V is basically about the same size as the space shuttle. The LSF was 120 feet across or something like that, or more. And huge. So, two different ships. Anyway, two different rockets. One was a staged rocket, and my thing was literally a ship. Anyway, it's sometimes featured in some of the movies and some of the things. You kind of see how big it was. It was fucking huge. And, got repaired quite a bit. And Rodney and everyone else would be like, Brian, like, my name is Lucifer Starr. I get sick of people bugging me. Anyway. They get to deal with whatever it is that they did and how they had done whatever. And took a grinder to my LSF-A Blackbird depleted uranium ships. Like, I assume they're still out there somewhere. Anyway, who knows? But a lot of people knew that ship. So, anyway. And they would call me crazy and all that other stuff, so. Anyway, basically tried to kill me and tried to basically lock me up in a jail cell or put me in prison or shoot me in the head for the past 40 years. Funny, considering I haven't ever been human before, except for maybe once over 100 trillion years ago. And I don't know how human I actually was. But anyway, whatever. So anyway, but I am now Brian, but still the Lucifer Star. So anyway, so that's where I'm from.